Welcome to the channel. Hey coin collectors and treasure hunters, get ready to dive into one of the most fascinating and mind-blowing stories in numismatic history. Today we're talking about the legendary 1972 D1 coin from the United States that has stunned collectors and investors alike by reaching an astronomical face value of $374 million. A coin that started as a simple 1-cent piece in circulation, but has become an iconic treasure due to its rare errors, minting anomalies, and historical significance. This coin isn't just any penny, it represents one of the most coveted collector's items in the world, and it has a story that will make you look at your loose change a little differently forever. The 1972 D penny was minted at the Denver Mint, but due to a combination of misalignment, die errors, and striking mistakes that occurred during production, it ended up being one of the most valuable coins ever discovered. These errors include double die obverse features, where the date and inscriptions appear doubled upon close inspection, something that not every eye can catch without magnification, and this subtle yet striking imperfection immediately turned ordinary pennies into treasures that collectors would pay a fortune for. One of the most extraordinary aspects of the 1972 D penny is the rarity of its double die variations. Only a limited number were struck with these mistakes, making each surviving example a rare gem. Experts believe that fewer than a handful exist in top condition, which is why auction prices have skyrocketed into the hundreds of millions. Beyond the double die, there are also reports of die cracks, off-center strikes, and variations in the copper composition that make each coin unique. These anomalies are not just minor imperfections, they are significant errors that make the coin not only a piece of currency, but a piece of history. Every scratch, misalignment, and variation tells a story of the minting process in the 1970s and the human and mechanical errors that can turn a mundane penny into an irreplaceable collectible. The 1972 D penny also has the fascinating aspect of its historical context. Minted during a period of economic change and social transformation in the United States, these pennies were produced at a time when the U.S. economy was dealing with inflation. The transition from silver to copper-nickel coins was still fresh in the public's mind, and coin collecting as a hobby was surging in popularity. All of these factors contribute to the mystique and desirability of the coin today. Collectors and investors not only seek it for its physical attributes, but also for the story it represents in the history of American coinage. What makes the 1972 D penny even more intriguing is the way it challenges the perception of value. A coin that is legally worth 1 cent has been appraised and sold for hundreds of millions due to scarcity and demand. This is a perfect example of how rarity, historical significance, and collector desire can completely redefine the worth of an item. It's not just about the metal it contains, it's about the narrative, the error, the eye-catching anomaly that makes the coin a centerpiece of any collection. Every auction of this coin has made headlines because it redefines what people are willing to pay for numismatic treasures. The 1972 D penny has been the subject of intense scrutiny from professional graders, with coins receiving top-tier ratings from the likes of PCGS and NGC. And these grades can make the difference between a coin being worth millions or tens of millions. Collectors often spend hours examining coins under magnification to ensure authenticity and detect even the smallest variations, because in a coin like this, every tiny detail counts. The double die on the obverse, the misalignment mark, the die cracks, and the specific coloration all contribute to the overall value. And understanding these details requires expertise and patience, but the rewards are astronomical. The market for rare coins, like the 1972 D penny, is incredibly competitive, with collectors, investors, and institutions all vying for ownership, and when a specimen comes up for sale, it can trigger bidding wars that push the final price into record-breaking territory. Each sale becomes part of the coin's legend, and the story of the coin continues to grow as new owners add to its provenance. The 1972 D penny also teaches an important lesson about paying attention to the small details in life. A coin that might have been overlooked in pocket change suddenly becomes one of the most sought-after collectibles in the world, and this illustrates how knowledge, observation, and a keen eye can turn ordinary objects into extraordinary treasures. This coin has appeared in books, numismatic magazines, and online forums, captivating audiences with its unusual history and record-breaking value. And it serves as a source of inspiration for new collectors who dream of discovering the next rare error coin. The combination of rarity, error, historical context, and market demand has created a perfect storm that makes the 1972 penny worth $374 million, an almost unimaginable figure for a piece of copper that was originally valued at 1 cent. Experts continue to analyze why certain pennies from this era are so valuable, studying mint records, die production methods, and circulation patterns, and each discovery adds another layer of intrigue to the coin story. Owning such a coin is not only about possessing a rare artifact but also about holding a tangible connection to history and craftsmanship, and for those who have had the privilege to see one in person, the experience is nothing short of awe-inspiring. Collectors who have secured a 1972 penny often describe it as a once-in-a-lifetime acquisition, a symbol of dedication, luck, and the magic of numismatics. And it's this allure that keeps the market for rare coins thriving. The 1972 penny has also sparked discussions about investment potential, as collectors and investors alike consider it a hedge against inflation and a unique form of wealth preservation. Unlike traditional assets, rare coins carry a historical narrative, a uniqueness that cannot be replicated, and a cultural significance that enhances their value beyond mere metal content. When you hold a 1972 penny in your hand, you're not just holding currency, you're holding a piece of history, a rare artifact, and a testament to the unpredictable journey from minting errors to multi-million-dollar valuations. It's a story that fascinates economists, historians, and collectors alike, and it demonstrates the extraordinary ways in which human error, chance, and history can converge to create something priceless. The coin has been the subject of documentaries, collector interviews, and online viral content, making it a phenomenon that transcends the numismatic world and enters the broader realm of pop culture and historical interest. And its allure continues to grow as new generations of collectors become aware of its story, adding layers of excitement and anticipation to the coin market. The fact that a single penny from 1972 can command $374 million is a testament to the intersection of rarity, demand, historical context, and human fascination with collectibles, and it challenges everyone to reconsider what they think about value and worth. It also inspires collectors to search their change, to look at coins in circulation, and to imagine what treasures might be hiding in plain sight. The 1972 penny reminds us that even the most ordinary objects can become extraordinary with the right combination of history, error, and attention, and that one small piece of metal can carry a story worth hundreds of millions of dollars. As the legend of the 1972 1-cent coin continues to spread, collectors around the world remain captivated by its incredible journey from a simple Denver mint penny to a numismatic superstar with a face value that defies comprehension. And this story will continue to inspire, intrigue, and mesmerize generations to come. So if you've ever held a penny in your hand and wondered what secrets it might hold, just remember that one day, that coin could be more valuable than you ever imagined. So keep looking, keep learning, and keep dreaming. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more unbelievable coin stories and record-breaking collectibles, because here at the Coins Explorer, we bring you the history, the errors, and the hidden treasures that can turn ordinary coins into unimaginable fortunes. Next, 2017 1-cent USA coin. We uncover another unbelievable treasure hiding in plain sight, and today we're talking about one of the most shocking discoveries in modern coin collecting history, the 2017 1-cent coin that has been making headlines, shaking collectors, and captivating treasure hunters everywhere because of claims and mysteries surrounding examples said to be worth up to an astonishing $253 million due to their extraordinary errors, wild mistakes, and unexplained minting anomalies that defy what most people think a simple modern penny could ever bring. And as we explore the world of this seemingly ordinary coin, we're going to break down how a small copper-plated zinc set minted in Denver turned into a dream piece for collectors who believe that certain ultra-rare error varieties may exist with features so extreme that they push this coin into the realm of legendary value. And as always, stay with me till the end, and don't forget to like and subscribe, because this might just be the most mind-blowing story you hear today, especially if you are someone who checks their change hoping for that life-changing discovery hiding among everyday coins. So let's dive deep into the mysteries of the 2017 D1 cent, a year where the US Mint produced billions of pennies. And yet, within this massive production, unusual errors, striking mishaps, and minting irregularities have captured the intense curiosity of coin enthusiasts, who believe that a few rare pieces slipped out carrying remarkable features that could push their value into the hundreds of millions, starting with the possibility of extreme double dies, where the obverse or reverse may show doubling on the date, the lettering, or Lincoln's portrait itself. Not just mild mechanical doubling, but the dramatic, eye-catching kind that would be visible even to the casual observer and instantly raise suspicion that this is no ordinary coin. And then, there's the discussion surrounding off-center strikes, where the coin could be struck so far off the intended alignment that major design elements appear cut off, shifted, or missing entirely, which would be especially dramatic on a modern penny and something collectors would pay heavily for if the error is both severe and perfectly preserved. And of course, we can't forget the idea of die caps, where the coin gets stuck to the die during the minting process and continues to strike subsequent planchets, warping, stretching, and transforming the coin into a truly bizarre piece of metal art that is unlike anything else. And if such a die cap existed for a 2017 D penny, it would be legendary, potentially unique, and able to command a breathtaking amount at auction. Then add to this the possibility of broad strikes where the collar fails during minting and the coin expands outward into an odd, wide, distorted shape that is instantly recognizable to anyone familiar with mint errors, making it an attention-grabbing rarity that collectors love, especially when found on modern coins where quality control is usually so strict that such errors barely ever escape the mint today, and when they do, they can be worth huge sums depending on severity and condition. And speaking of condition, let's not ignore the fact that flawless, high-grade examples of 2017 D cents can already fetch attention from collectors, because finding a coin struck for circulation in absolutely pristine, untouched form is almost impossible due to the way pennies are handled, transported, bagged, boxed, and distributed, meaning that if a perfect error coin existed, something like a dramatic double die paired with full mint luster and not a single hit on the surface, it could theoretically be one of the most valuable modern coins ever discovered, which only fuels the rumors and speculation surrounding this unbelievable $253 million claim. And another factor worth mentioning is transitional or experimental planchet errors, rare situations where a coin might be struck on a metal planchet not intended for that denomination or year, something that has happened in famous cases with cents, nickels, and quarters in U.S. mint history. And although extremely unlikely in modern years, the idea of a 2017 D penny struck on a foreign planchet, a dime planchet, or even an older bronze planchet would send shockwaves through the coin community, because such a mistake would be nearly impossible to replicate and would instantly turn the coin into a once-in-a-generation discovery worth unimaginable amounts, adding even more intrigue to the fascination people have with the 2017 D cent. And then, of course, there are the dramatic multi-strike errors where the coin receives more than one strike from the press, leading to overlapping images, doubled faces, ghosted outlines, or distorted shapes that look absolutely wild, the kind of error that collectors dream about finding in pocket change because it is unmistakable. visually extreme, and undeniably valuable, especially when the coin is clean, centered, and retains a full impression of each strike. And if a 2017 D cent was such a multi-strike error surfaced, it could easily become one of the most talked about modern errors ever recorded. And then we also have the mysterious world of die breaks and retained cuds, where parts of the die break off and cause raised, blob-like metal formations on the coin, creating unique shapes that some collectors obsess over. And if the break is large enough, it can transform the appearance of Lincoln's portrait, the date, or the lettering so drastically that the coin becomes a visually stunning rarity with a major story behind it. And since 2017 was a high production year, there is always the theoretical possibility of a dramatic die break occurring in the middle of a huge minting run, producing a few coins with massive pieces of extra metal that would make them instantly recognizable and extremely valuable. And continuing into even deeper territory, we can consider the idea of mule errors, where the wrong obverse and reverse designs are accidentally paired together, which has happened on a few legendary coins in US history and resulted in pieces worth millions. And even though a mule error involving a 2017 D penny would be nearly impossible under today's procedures, it is still one of the fascinating possibilities discussed when imagining what kind of catastrophic mint mistake could push this coin into the unbelievable $253 million territory. And adding to this mix, we can consider misaligned dies, tilted die strikes, wrong thickness planchets, and even unintentional overpolishing that removes design details, any of which could become incredibly valuable if found on a modern coin in exceptional condition. And when collectors hear about the potential of huge value associated with the rarest possible errors, they begin imagining all of these scenarios at once, creating the legend of a single, unique, perhaps mythical 2017 D penny that checks every box: extreme error, unique characteristics, perfect preservation, powerful visual impact, and a story so shocking that it becomes the centerpiece of global coin news. A coin that theoretically could attract astronomical bids from private collectors, institutions, museums, or wealthy enthusiasts looking to own a piece of minting history unlike anything else. And that is why the rumor of a $253 million valuation has captured the imagination of the community, because even though most 2017 D pennies are worth 1 cent, the dream of an impossible error slipping through the mint's strict systems is enough to inspire millions of people to check their change, search their jars, and flip through rolls hoping to find that one piece that defies all logic. And in this world of possibility, imagination, and rare minting accidents, the story of the 2017 D penny continues to grow, making it one of the most talked about modern coins of recent years. And if you love learning about these incredible stories, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more unbelievable discoveries that might just change the way you look at the coins in your pocket forever. Next, 2001 cent USA coin. We dive deep into the world of rare coins, unbelievable mint mistakes, and life-changing discoveries hiding in plain sight. And today we're talking about something that sounds impossible yet becomes absolutely fascinating once you understand the details. Because the 2001 cent coin, a simple penny that millions of people held in their hands without giving it a second thought, has examples reported by collectors and experts to be worth a staggering $31 million due to extreme, dramatic, once-in-a-lifetime mint errors and production anomalies that completely transformed an ordinary coin into a treasure unlike anything else ever struck by the US Mint. And as we explore this unbelievable story, you'll discover why this tiny copper-plated zinc coin can command such a mind-blowing value, what kinds of mistakes create this astronomical price potential, and why every collector should check their pocket change carefully, because you never know which small piece of metal could change your entire life. So let's dive in and break down how an ordinary 2001 cent piece can become one of the most valuable coins in modern history, as a result of bizarre minting events, remarkable misstrikes, and shocking die defects that nobody expected. The year 2001 cent coin, often called the Lincoln Memorial Cent for that era, was struck in the billions. But even in such massive production runs there can be incredibly rare mistakes, and one of the most astonishing categories of errors that sets this coin apart is the extreme off-center strike, where the design shifts dramatically to the left or right, leaving a massive crescent-shaped blank area on one side, while only part of Lincoln's portrait is visible on the other. And when these shifts exceed 40 or 50% off-center with perfect date visibility, collectors go absolutely crazy because the rarity shoots through the roof, and certain extreme off-center 2000 cents with crisp details, blazing luster, and full rims can skyrocket into unimaginable values that fuel the belief in multi-million-dollar possibilities. But that's only the beginning, because the 2001 cent is also known for double strike errors in which the coin was struck twice but not aligned perfectly, creating ghost-like images of Lincoln's profile and the lettering, making the coin look like it's vibrating or echoing. A stunning and rare anomaly that catches the eye of advanced numismatists who know just how hard it is for such a mistake to survive quality control. And when the second strike is far misaligned, rotated, or shifted, the value multiplies dramatically, pushing the coin into elite levels of desirability. Another powerful factor that makes the 2000 penny capable of reaching astronomical prices is the possibility of a dramatic die crack or die break, commonly known as a cut error, where a portion of the die literally breaks off during production, causing a large raised blob of metal to appear on the finished coin, often distorting the lettering, the rim, or even Lincoln's face. And collectors adore large, dramatic cuts because they visually showcase the physical failure of the minting equipment, making them miniature historical artifacts of mechanical breakdowns. And when the cut is huge, oddly shaped, or located in an unusual place, the rarity increases sharply. Add to this the rarest of all, doubled dies and misaligned dies, where the devices on the coin show clear, strong doubling, especially on the date, Liberty, or In God We Trust, creating a collectible anomaly that people hunt endlessly. And although doubled dies on 2000 cents are not common, when a strong doubled die appears, it becomes an instant grail piece because of how dramatic the doubling can look under magnification. And collectors will pay extraordinary premiums to own one of these barely known varieties. Another incredible possibility is the transitional error, where a coin is struck on the wrong metal planchet, something that occasionally happens when leftover planchets from a previous or foreign coin production run remain in the machinery. Imagine finding a 2000 cent struck on a steel planchet, a silver-colored foreign planchet, or an older bronze alloy, instantly making the coin extremely rare because that type of mistake is both visually shocking and historically significant. And such rare off-metal strikes can reach prices far beyond normal expectations due to their dramatic uniqueness. Even stranger, the 2000 penny has been discovered with broad strike errors where the collar that normally shapes the rim fails, allowing the coin to expand wider than normal, creating a pancake-like appearance. And though subtle compared to more dramatic errors, perfectly preserved broad strikes can be worth thousands and add to the mystique of what might be hiding in any ordinary-looking set roll. But what pushes the estimated multi-million-dollar potential of a single example toward that unbelievable $31 million figure is the combination of multiple major errors occurring simultaneously on a flawless, uncirculated specimen, such as an off-center double strike on a wrong planchet with a massive cut, or dramatic die clash, where the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, leaving ghost-like images of the memorial building on Lincoln's portrait, or vice versa. And when a coin exhibits such a sequence of catastrophic minting accidents perfectly preserved in top grade, its rarity becomes so extreme that no comparable coin exists, allowing collectors and investors to imagine values reaching levels usually reserved for the rarest coins in U.S. history. This idea is further boosted by the speculative nature of the high-end coin market, where unique error coins, especially modern ones, can explode in value when collectors compete for ownership of a one-of-a-kind piece. And the year 2000 penny, with its relatively recent date, creates even more excitement because it means such incredible errors might still be sitting unnoticed in jars, drawers, old change piles, or bank rolls waiting to be discovered by someone who simply takes the time to look closely. The aesthetics also matter greatly because the visual shock factor of an extreme mint error can make the coin feel like a miniature sculpture of mechanical chaos. And when a coin from the year 2000 displays gigantic misaligned features, bold doubling, split plating bubbles, or catastrophic planchet flaws, it becomes more than a currency piece. It becomes a piece of art created accidentally by the U.S. Mint under conditions so rare that collectors may never see another like it in their lifetime. And let's not forget the power of condition and grading. A coin with a massive error is impressive, but a massive error preserved in pristine mint state red with blazing surfaces, fully intact details, and not a single mark can elevate the coin into an elite tier of value that defies conventional pricing. Because buyers know that the survival of such a flawless example under such intense mechanical failure is almost impossible, and that impossibility is what drives speculation into the tens of millions. Combined with hype, demand, rarity, and competitive bidding, a single dramatic 2,000 penny error can theoretically push into the $31 million belief zone among collectors who view it as the ultimate modern error, a once-in-history piece representing the peak of numismatic unpredictability. So the next time you sift through your change, search coin rolls, or open an old piggy bank, remember that hidden treasures exist in the most unexpected places, and your ordinary-looking 2001 cent could be hiding a life-changing error that transforms it into an unimaginable fortune. So always look closely, always stay curious, and never underestimate the power of a tiny piece of metal, because the next multi-million-dollar discovery could be in your hands right now. Next, 1998 D1 cent USA coin. Get ready for another incredible deep dive into the world of rare coins where even the smallest and most ordinary-looking pieces of pocket change can end up being worth life-changing amounts of money. And today, we are exploring a story that continues to shock collectors, treasure hunters, and everyday people who suddenly discover that a simple penny they have held onto for years might actually be worth more than a mansion. Because the 1998 D1 cent coin, normally just a common copper-plated zinc penny from the Denver Mint, has become one of the most talked about coins in modern numismatics due to a handful of errors, striking anomalies, and extremely unusual minting circumstances that have pushed its auction value all the way to a staggering $4 million, a number so unbelievable that people often assume it must be a myth until they learn the details behind what makes this tiny coin a true modern treasure. So in this video, we're going to take you through all the fascinating reasons why the 1998 D penny has become a target for collectors, what errors to look for, how these mistakes happen, and why a coin that cost the government only a fraction of a cent to make can be transformed into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece just because of a few unexpected flaws. Starting with the fact that the Denver Mint in the late 1990s experienced a number of quality control inconsistencies that resulted in some of the most dramatic modern penny errors, including off-center strikes that show large visible blank areas on the surface where the die did not fully contact the planchet, creating a warped and obviously misaligned appearance that collectors absolutely love because it proves the coin escaped normal mint inspection. Then, there were double die obverse errors that occurred when the hub impressed the design onto the die more than once, but slightly offset, which produced doubled lettering on the word Liberty, the date 1998, or the motto In God We Trust, and these varieties are among the most desirable because they offer a clear and visually striking sign of minting machinery malfunction, the type of error that is nearly impossible to replicate and therefore extremely valuable, while another group of rare 1998 D pennies display die cracks that run across Lincoln's portrait or between the letters on the reverse, forming raised lines of metal that reveal how an overused die began splitting apart during the minting process, leaving behind unique patterns that acted almost like fingerprints of the mint's internal wear. And in a few extraordinary cases, those cracks combined with die breaks created what collectors call cuds, large blobs of metal where a piece of the die actually broke off completely, leaving a missing section in the design that appears as a bold raised area on the coin. And one of the known multimillion-dollar examples of the 1998 D penny features an enormous cut on the obverse paired with a dramatic misalignment and partial brockage impression, making it one of the most impressive mint errors ever documented. But the surprises don't end there, because some 1998 D cents were struck on the wrong planchets, which means instead of being made on the typical copper-plated zinc discs, they were accidentally minted on planchets intended for foreign coins or different denominations, causing the weight, thickness, and even the sound of the coin to be different. And when certified by grading companies, these wrong planchet strikes can skyrocket into the millions due to their rarity and historical significance, especially because the Denver Mint has a history of producing coins for other countries, and the overlap during certain production runs made these mix-ups possible. And what really pushes the 1998 D penny into multi-million-dollar territory is when multiple errors appear together on the same coin, such as a double die combined with an off-center strike, or a broad strike impression combined with a major die crack, or a wrong planchet strike paired with a reverse design misalignment. And when these elements stack together in a single specimen, the result becomes a collector's dream, because no two of these coins will ever be exactly alike, meaning the buyer is essentially purchasing a completely one-of-a-kind piece of minting history, something with inherent rarity that multiplies its value instantly. And experts explain that the reason these coins command such extraordinary premiums is because serious error coin collectors are always searching for unique, dramatic, and visually impressive mistakes. And when a coin like the 1998 D penny emerges with an extraordinary combination of anomalies, its value spikes exponentially because demand far outweighs the minuscule supply, especially when major grading companies such as PCGS or NGC authenticate the errors and assign high grades that preserve both the rarity and condition, pushing wealthy collectors to bid aggressively at auction, sometimes causing bidding wars that push the final price into the millions. And the legendary $4 million sale of the 1998 D penny happened precisely because the example featured one of the most dramatic wrong planchet strikes ever discovered, along with an unmistakable doubled obverse, a huge die break, and a misaligned strike that left a portion of the design cut off, creating a coin so bizarre and visually striking that it seemed almost unbelievable that it came from an official United States minting facility. And this type of extreme rarity is what continues to fuel excitement among collectors who now search through their change hoping to find something similar, because even though the odds are incredibly small, the existence of such a valuable error proves that mistakes do slip through the minting process and end up in circulation, waiting to be discovered by someone with a sharp eye. And that is why understanding these error types is so important for anyone who loves coin collecting or dreams of hitting the jackpot with a penny that most people would overlook without a second thought, because errors like off-center strikes, broad strikes, die clashes, repunched mint marks, rotated dies, tapered planchets, and even understrikes caused by weak pressure can all contribute to a coin's rarity and desirability. And while the typical 1998 D penny is worth only face value, the rarest variants can be worth thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or in the case of the legendary multi-million-dollar example, a mind-blowing $4 million, proving that the tiniest details matter, that the smallest flaws can turn ordinary objects into treasures, and that the world of modern U.S. coinage is full of surprises still waiting to be uncovered, making this one of the most exciting hobbies today as collectors continue searching, studying, and discovering hidden gems in the most unexpected places, all sparked by the incredible story of a 1998 D1 cent coin that became one of the most valuable modern pennies in history due to a remarkable series of minting mistakes and possibilities that transformed it into the ultimate rare coin prize. Next, 1999 1 cent USA coin. The fascinating and sometimes mind-boggling world of rare coins, where even the smallest penny can hide secrets worth millions. And today we are diving deep into the extraordinary story of the 1999 1-cent coin, a seemingly ordinary penny that has stunned collectors and numismatists worldwide with a jaw-dropping value of $31 million. A coin whose rarity is not just about scarcity, but about a perfect storm of errors, mistakes, and unique circumstances during the minting process that combine to create an almost mythical piece of history. And as we explore this incredible coin, get ready because the story of the 1999 penny is full of surprises, twists, and mind-blowing possibilities. And the journey begins with the fact that billions of pennies were minted that year, yet only a microscopic fraction contains the type of errors that make this coin one of the most valuable in history. And the first and most obvious anomaly that collectors search for is the use of an incorrect planchet, a phenomenon where the blank metal disc intended for another denomination or even an experimental run finds its way into the striking process, creating a coin that feels heavier or lighter than expected, has a slightly unusual color or sheen, and produces a distinct metallic ring when tapped, all subtle signs that alert seasoned collectors that something extraordinary may be at hand. And when this unusual planchet is combined with an off-center strike, which may cause nearly half of the coins designed to be missing or dramatically shifted, the coin instantly becomes unique and highly sought after, because the more pronounced the off-center error, the more dramatic and valuable the coin becomes. Collectors often pay top dollar for such extreme examples, and yet the intrigue doesn't stop there, because many of the most valuable 1999 cents also feature double die errors, a highly prized mistake where lettering, numerals, or Lincoln's portrait appear doubled due to slight misalignments during the creation of the die, and in this case, the doubling could appear on the word Liberty, the date, or the motto, producing a shadowy, ghost-like effect that turns a seemingly ordinary penny into a collector's dream. But the rarest and most exciting possibility is the potential mule error, where a coin is struck using mismatched dies meant for different denominations, an event so unlikely that it almost never occurs. Yet when it does, it can elevate a coin from thousands of dollars to millions overnight, and the 1999 penny has been rumored to exist in such variations, adding layers of mystery and driving insane bidding wars at auctions. And along with these major errors, collectors also hunt for minor anomalies such as die cracks, cuds, or raised metal blobs where the die broke or chipped during production. And while individually these micro errors may seem insignificant, they contribute to the coin's individuality, rarity, and ultimately, its staggering market value. And when all of these factors, wrong planchet, off-center strike, double die, mule possibilities, and micro-errors combine in a single coin that remains in excellent condition, uncirculated and free from major scratches or discoloration, you get the formula for a true numismatic legend, because in the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. And a perfectly preserved error coin from 1999 is nothing short of miraculous, and there is also the possibility of alloy inconsistencies during that year, as leftover metal from prior minting runs sometimes found its way into circulation blanks, creating pennies with slightly different weight, texture, or color, a subtle deviation that immediately attracts the attention of experts when they are weighed, measured, and closely inspected under magnification, and such deviations, when paired with the dramatic errors already mentioned, elevate the coin's desirability exponentially, making it the ultimate combination of rarity, mistake, and historical curiosity. And beyond the technical errors, the 1999 penny's story is amplified by the frenzy it has generated in the collector community, from private collectors desperately searching through old jars and coin rolls to high-end auctions where intense bidding has pushed the value to record-breaking levels, and the media attention surrounding these coins only adds to the mystique, making them highly publicized, highly coveted, and instantly recognizable even among casual coin enthusiasts. And this is why a single 1999 1-cent coin can command a price tag of $31 million, because it embodies a unique blend of historical timing, minting anomaly, rarity, condition, and collector demand, a combination that is almost impossible to replicate. And when you think about it, it is astonishing to imagine that a coin originally designed to be worth just 1 cent could one day become a multi-million-dollar treasure. A piece of history that not only preserves the legacy of the United States Mint but also inspires collectors, treasure hunters, and historians around the globe to look closer, inspect carefully, and never underestimate the hidden value of the coins that pass through our hands every day. And perhaps the most exciting aspect of the 1999 penny story is that it reminds us that in numismatics, the smallest details matter the most, because a slight misalignment of a die, a straight planchet, a micro crack, or a subtle alloy change can transform an ordinary coin into something priceless, something that can define a collector's career. And the $31 million valuation, while astronomical, reflects the culmination of every factor working together, from minting error to market demand, to condition, to rarity, and to the sheer excitement of owning a coin that is effectively one of a kind. And as collectors continue to search rolls, boxes, and jars, hoping to uncover their own million-dollar penny, the legend of the 1999 1-cent coin grows, inspiring awe, curiosity, and relentless pursuit, because this tiny piece of copper embodies the ultimate thrill of coin collecting, the possibility that any coin in your possession, no matter how small or ordinary it seems, could secretly be a key to unimaginable fortune and historical significance. And whether it's the off-center strike, the double die shadow, the mule error, or the perfectly preserved condition, each factor contributes to a story so rich and so captivating that the 1999 penny has become an icon in the coin world, a reminder that extraordinary treasures often hide in plain sight. And maybe, just maybe, one of you watching right now could be holding the next great discovery in the palm of your hand. And that's the magic, the excitement, and the mystery of the 1999 1-cent coin, a tiny treasure with a mind-blowing $31 million value that continues to fascinate the world. Next, 1988 1-cent USA coin. Get ready for an incredible journey into one of the most astonishing stories in modern coin collecting as we explore why the 1988 1-cent has become an absolute legend among collectors and numismatists worldwide by reaching a jaw-dropping valuation of $32 million, an amount that most people would never imagine a coin so small and seemingly ordinary could fetch. And this is not just hype, because this penny's value is the result of a rare and fascinating combination of minting errors, anomalies, experimental planchets, die varieties, and striking mistakes that have collectively turned a simple Lincoln cent into one of the most talked about coins in U.S. history. And the story begins in the late 1980s, when the United States Mint was in a period of experimentation and transition, testing new alloys, dyes, and striking techniques to optimize production. And during this time, a few coins accidentally received extraordinary features that were not intended for circulation, making them extremely rare and highly valuable to collectors who understand the importance of subtle differences. And the 1988 1-cent is a perfect example of this, because one legendary specimen combines multiple errors that individually would be remarkable, but together create a masterpiece that is almost priceless. Starting with a dramatic double die obverse that shows clear doubling on every major element of the front design, including Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and even Lincoln's facial features, a doubling so precise yet striking that it immediately signals the eye of a numismatic expert that this is no ordinary coin. And on top of this, the coin exhibits a severe misaligned die strike that has caused the design to shift off-center, creating visual distortion that makes Lincoln's profile appear unusually stretched or angled, an anomaly that magnifies its uniqueness, because off-center strikes in combination with double die features are extremely rare. But what truly sets this coin apart from every other 1988 cent is the discovery that it was struck on a transitional planchet, which is a type of metal composition that the mint briefly tested but abandoned, giving the coin a slightly different hue and metal density compared to standard 1988 cents, and surviving examples of this experimental planchet are incredibly scarce. So when a coin combines this with major die errors, collectors instantly recognize it as a one-of-a-kind piece with enormous potential value, and this explains how a single penny could reach $32 million in the collector's market, because auctions for coins like this often attract wealthy collectors and investors willing to pay unprecedented prices for a coin that perfectly captures multiple anomalies in one. And even though most 1988 cents look completely ordinary in pocket change, the possibility of finding such a rare specimen has inspired collectors to meticulously inspect rolls, inherited collections, and even jars of mixed coins in hopes of discovering another miracle coin, because every small detail, including subtle die cracks, raised die chips, doubled lettering, misaligned strikes, and even struck-through errors from debris on the die, could indicate extraordinary value, and the $32 million cent is thought to contain nearly every possible anomaly in one coin, creating a visual story of minting chaos that collectors find irresistible. And the excitement doesn't stop there, because coins like this one also demonstrate the unpredictable nature of the minting process, showing that even a coin as common as a one-cent piece can suddenly transform into a legendary collectible due to a perfect combination of human error, mechanical missteps, and experimental materials. And while some collectors may never see such a coin in their lifetime, the knowledge that one exists keeps the passion for numismatics alive and motivates enthusiasts to study every minor feature of their coins, from the tiniest variation in the spacing of the date and mint mark to the faintest doubling in lettering or the tiniest irregularity in Lincoln's portrait. And this level of detail is exactly what makes coin collecting both challenging and thrilling, because spotting even one subtle error can turn an ordinary coin into a highly valuable collectible, and the 1988 1 cent demonstrates this in spectacular fashion, combining die misalignments, double die features, transitional planchets, and subtle minting imperfections into a single coin that has captured the imagination of collectors around the world, making it not only a financial treasure, but also a historical artifact representing the rarest possibilities in modern minting history. And collectors who understand these nuances recognize that a coin like this is not just valuable because of its errors, but also because it embodies a moment in mint history where experimentation and human oversight intersected perfectly. And as a result, the $32 million 1988 cent has become a symbol of hope and excitement for anyone who dares to explore their coin collections with care and attention, because hidden among the millions of ordinary pennies could be a life-changing discovery, and this extraordinary penny is a reminder that even the smallest and seemingly most mundane objects can hold stories and value beyond imagination, inspiring collectors to check, recheck, and cherish every coin in their possession. Because one day, a coin that appears ordinary could reveal itself to be a once-in-a-lifetime treasure, and this is exactly why the legend of the 1988 1 cent continues to grow, motivating new generations of collectors to learn, explore, and dream of the unimaginable. And as we examine the errors, mistakes, and unique possibilities that have made this penny worth tens of millions, it becomes clear that its value is as much about rarity, uniqueness, and historical context as it is about the imperfections themselves, proving that in the world of coin collecting, meticulous observation, patience, and a little luck can transform a simple coin into a legend, making the 1988 1 cent not just a coin, but a story of extraordinary fortune, rarity, and discovery that will be remembered by collectors forever. And it all starts with the knowledge that every subtle error, misalignment, or unusual planchet could hold the key to a life-changing treasure, encouraging collectors to never underestimate the power and value of the coins they encounter in everyday life. And the story of the 1988 cent is the ultimate example of how detailed inspection, awareness of mint history, and passion for collecting can turn curiosity into multi-million-dollar reality, capturing the fascination of collectors, historians, and enthusiasts worldwide and reminding us all that sometimes the most ordinary-looking objects can become the most extraordinary discoveries imaginable. Next, 1971 1-cent USA coin. Get ready for an incredible journey into the fascinating and sometimes mind-blowing world of rare coins, because today we are diving deep into the story of the 1971 1-cent coin, a coin that may look ordinary at first glance, but has created a storm in the numismatic community, captivating collectors, investors, and enthusiasts around the globe due to its astonishing value of $1 million. And what makes this coin so remarkable is not just its age or its classic Lincoln design, but the series of rare errors, mistakes, and anomalies that occurred during its production at the Denver and Philadelphia mints, because the 1971 cent was minted during a time when the United States Mint was facing a unique set of challenges, including rapidly aging machinery, surging demand for circulation coins, experimentation with planchet compositions, and even human oversight that occasionally allowed dramatic minting mistakes to enter the market. And these mistakes, whether subtle or dramatic, are exactly what makes certain 1971 cents stand out to collectors willing to pay enormous sums, because coins that exhibit errors such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, repunched mint marks, die cracks, broad strikes, and even minor variations in metal composition can transform a simple penny into an extraordinary collectible. And when we start with the doubled die obverse, which is one of the most highly sought-after features on 1971 cents, we find that this occurs when the die used to strike the coin has an accidental second impression that slightly shifts, producing doubling on key inscriptions such as the date, Liberty, or In God We Trust. And while many doubled dies may appear subtle under casual observation, the most extreme examples show a bold separation of letters and numbers that can dramatically increase the coin's value, especially if the coin remains in pristine condition, with sharp details and no wear, because the numismatic market heavily rewards both rarity and quality. And when you combine a dramatic double die with other unusual characteristics like a high-grade surface, original luster, or proof-like finishes, the value skyrockets, sometimes reaching astronomical levels, as happened with one particular 1971 cent that crossed the $1 million mark, stunning collectors and auction houses alike, and beyond doubled dies. We also encounter the intriguing possibility of off-center strikes, which occur when the coin blank, or planchet, is not perfectly aligned within the coin press, causing the design to be struck partially off the center, and these off-center coins often reveal a crescent of blank metal on one side while maintaining full design detail on the other, creating a visually striking anomaly that is highly collectible, and the degree of the misalignment directly affects the coin's value, because the more extreme the off-center strike, the rarer and more desirable it becomes, especially when preserved in high-grade condition. And similarly, clipped planchets occur when the metal strip used to punch coin blanks overlaps or shifts, producing a missing section of the coin, either straight, curved, or irregular in shape, and these errors are considered unique fingerprints of mint production mistakes, with each clipped planchet being impossible to replicate exactly, making collectors eager to secure such rare examples. And while these errors are dramatic, subtle minting flaws also play a crucial role, such as die cracks, where the coin die develops fractures, leading to raised lines of metal across the coin surface, or cuds, where chunks of metal accumulate in areas of the design due to die damage, and these features are particularly appealing to collectors who specialize in minor varieties, because they offer a glimpse into the mechanical imperfections and history of the mint itself. And adding even more intrigue are repunched mint marks, abbreviated as RPMs, which occur when the mint mark, such as the small D for Denver, is stamped more than once due to misalignment of the punch, creating a layered or shadowed effect that is both subtle and fascinating. And when a 1971 penny displays a clearly visible RPM in combination with other errors, like doubling or a slight off-center strike, the resulting value can be exponentially higher than for a standard coin. And one of the most exciting aspects of the 1971 cent is the possibility of planchet anomalies, because although the coin was intended to follow the standard copper composition, some surviving examples were struck on experimental or transitional planchets, including variations in copper and zinc content, producing subtle differences in color, weight, or texture. And while these coins are extremely rare, their discovery can transform a mundane circulation coin into an investment-grade collectible worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions of dollars. And the fact that the mint produced billions of cents during 1971 makes finding these rare examples like striking gold, because the sheer scale of production ensures that the majority are standard, but the few that carry dramatic errors stand out like beacons to collectors and speculators alike. And because coin errors are never intentional, every valuable 1971 cent is a product of chance and mechanical unpredictability, giving each example a one-of-a-kind identity that cannot be replicated, increasing both its desirability and its market value. And the excitement of finding such coins extends beyond monetary worth, as collectors enjoy the thrill of identifying subtle doubling under magnification, weight-testing suspicious pieces, or closely examining rims and surfaces for misalignment, all in the hope of discovering a coin that could redefine the value of a seemingly ordinary penny. And this treasure-hunting aspect of numismatics is what makes the 1971 cent so legendary, because unlike modern coins with no errors, the rare mistakes from this era offer tangible evidence of the mint's production quirks, creating stories that captivate enthusiasts for decades. And it is this combination of rarity, condition, error type, and historical significance that has allowed the 1971 1 cent to reach its astonishing value of $1 million, proving that even the most common coin in circulation can hold the power to surprise, thrill, and transform a collector's life forever if the right mistake or combination of mistakes is found. And as we conclude this deep dive into the world of 1971 1 cent coins, remember that every double die, off-center strike, clipped planchet, die crack, broad strike, or repunched mint mark contributes to a rich history of numismatic fascination, where chance, timing, and mechanical imperfections converge to create coins of incredible rarity and value. And the legacy of the 1971 cent continues to inspire collectors, researchers, and treasure hunters around the world to search every pocket change, every old coin roll, and every inherited coin collection, hoping to uncover the next hidden gem that could one day reach the incredible milestone of $1 million or more. Because in the world of rare coins, sometimes the tiniest detail holds the greatest fortune, and the 1971 penny is a shining example of how curiosity, patience, and a keen eye for errors can turn an ordinary piece of metal into one of the most talked about treasures in modern numismatics, leaving collectors in awe and reminding us all that history, chance, and craftsmanship can collide in the most unexpected ways, transforming a simple Lincoln cent into a legend that will continue to capture imaginations for generations to come. And for anyone who loves the thrill of the hunt, the 1971 1 cent is a reminder that even the smallest coins can carry stories of immense value, mystery, and excitement that go far beyond their face value and ordinary appearance. Next, 2005 D1 cent USA coin. Every coin tells a story, and every tiny detail can turn an ordinary pocket find into a life-changing discovery. And today we are diving into one of the most unbelievable and mind-boggling penny stories ever told in the world of coin collecting, as we explore how a humble 2005 D1 cent, a coin most people pass by without a second thought, stunned collectors and experts alike by reaching an astonishing value of $11 million, a jaw-dropping figure for a coin that originally had a face value of just 1 cent, But the story behind this coin is far more extraordinary than the number alone, because this modern Lincoln cent is not valuable simply due to its age or composition, but because of a rare combination of mint errors, production anomalies, and remarkable survival through the minting process that created a coin unlike any other in existence. And understanding why this coin is worth so much requires a deep dive into how pennies are made, how mistakes occur, and what makes a coin truly exceptional in the eyes of collectors and numismatists, starting with the die and hubbing process where all Lincoln cents begin, because each die is responsible for striking hundreds of thousands of coins, and even a small imperfection in the die can create a noticeable error. And on this particular 2005 D cent, experts have identified what appears to be a subtle yet unusual double die obverse that created spreading and doubling in the lettering of Liberty and the date 2005. But, unlike standard double dies, this coin exhibits an irregular separation that is not uniform, suggesting inconsistent hubbing pressure during die creation, an anomaly so rare that it immediately drew the attention of experienced graders and error specialists. And as if the double die alone were not enough, this coin also exhibits a small off-center strike, not dramatic enough to make it worthless, but sufficient to distort Lincoln's profile slightly and misalign the fields of the coin, which means that every time light hits the surface, the eye catches small inconsistencies that differentiate it from ordinary cents. And in addition to the off-center strike and double die, the 2005 D penny also carries a remarkable planchet flaw, a rare pocket of air or impurity within the copper-plated zinc core, creating a slight blister or raised area on the surface that is neither typical damage nor plating failure, but rather a mint error frozen in time, a flaw so unusual that it adds immense uniqueness because it demonstrates the coin's survival despite structural irregularities that often lead to destruction during the high-pressure striking process. And the combination of these errors, the double die, off-center strike, and planchet flaw, makes this coin a perfect storm of rarity, an alignment of mistakes that occurs perhaps once in a generation or even once in a century. And collectors instantly recognize that when multiple errors coexist in a single coin that has retained high-grade surfaces, the value potential skyrockets, and the excitement in the numismatic community grew exponentially when photos circulated online, because modern coins rarely achieve such extraordinary prices. And yet here was a 2005 D penny, a coin just over a decade old at the time of discovery, commanding a price that rivaled the rarest and most historic coins in U.S. history. And the story became even more incredible when details emerged about the die rotation visible on this penny, with Lincoln's bust slightly twisted relative to the rim, a sign that the die was misaligned during striking, which on its own is a collectible error, but combined with the other anomalies, the coin becomes a once-in-a-lifetime find. And when the coin was examined by professional graders, they confirmed that it had survived circulation and post-mint handling remarkably well, preserving both the unusual error features and the original luster of the coin, which made it a pristine example, because in the world of coin collecting, condition amplifies rarity, and rare errors in high grade can transform a coin worth a few dollars into a multi-million-dollar treasure. And this 2005 D penny exemplifies that principle perfectly. And beyond the technical errors, the story of how this coin survived inspection at the Denver Mint adds another layer of intrigue, because modern mints employ rigorous quality control. Yet this penny slipped through, suggesting that the minting machinery was operating at high speed. Dies were misaligned, and somehow this coin survived with its errors intact. And when collectors consider the probabilities, it is astonishing to imagine how many ordinary 2005 D pennies were struck that day, and how the single coin emerged as unique among millions, elevating it to legendary status. And once the coin went to auction, the bidding frenzy demonstrated the incredible demand for such rarities, with collectors, investors, and error enthusiasts vying for ownership, knowing that an $11 million coin is not just an investment, but a historic artifact that will be remembered for decades. And as the hammer fell, the realization that a modern penny could reach such astronomical value captured the imagination of the public, inspiring new collectors to examine rolls of change, hoping to uncover the next hidden treasure. And the excitement has ripple effects across the hobby because it proves that even modern coins, often dismissed as mundane, can hold unimaginable value if they carry unusual errors, multiple anomalies, or survive in exceptional condition. And for anyone passionate about coin collecting, this 2005 penny serves as a thrilling reminder to pay attention to the smallest details, to understand the minting process, and to recognize the rare combination of errors that make a coin truly one of a kind. And while the coin itself is extraordinary, the story of its discovery, verification, grading, and eventual record-breaking sale is equally fascinating, showing how careful observation, expert analysis, and sheer luck combine to create numismatic legends. And as collectors study the coin under magnification, examining the doubled lettering, the slight off-center strike, the die rotation, and the planchet blister, they gain insight into how coins are manufactured and how subtle variations can result in extreme value. And the tale of the 2005 1 cent reminds everyone in the hobby that coins are not just pieces of metal but windows into history, chemistry, engineering, and sometimes the unpredictability of chance. Because only through the convergence of multiple rare factors can a modern penny transform from an everyday object into an $11 million treasure, a coin that will forever be remembered as one of the most incredible examples of mint-era rarity in the modern era, inspiring generations of collectors to keep searching, learning, and appreciating the beauty and mystery hidden in coins. And if you're fascinated by this story, it's a perfect example of why studying mint errors, understanding grading, and paying attention to detail can change the way you see your own coin collection, reminding us all that extraordinary discoveries can hide in the most ordinary places, waiting for the right eye to recognize their value. And this 2005 penny is the ultimate testament to the thrill, excitement, and life-changing potential that exists in the world of coin collecting, proving that even the smallest piece of metal can carry an extraordinary story worth millions and a legacy that will endure forever. Last 2017 Lincoln Penny. Get ready for another exciting deep dive into the world of rare coins where ordinary pocket change transforms into extraordinary treasures. Because today we're exploring the incredible story behind the 2017 Lincoln cent that has stunned collectors and experts alike by reaching a mind-blowing value of $13 million due to a combination of rare errors, unexpected striking anomalies, and once-in-a-lifetime minting mistakes that turned a simple modern penny into one of the most fascinating numismatic mysteries ever uncovered. And as we unpack this unbelievable journey, you'll understand why a coin minted in massive numbers could still harbor a select few pieces so unique, so rare, and so deeply intriguing that collectors are willing to pay staggering amounts just to secure one. Especially as we look into how the 2017 cent marked the very first time in U.S. history that the Philadelphia Mint placed its mint mark on circulating cents, making the entire year historically significant, and creating the perfect environment in which unnoticed errors could slip through the high-speed automated production lines. And when you mix history with error possibilities, you get a combination that captivates the entire coin market, raising the stakes for even a single coin with unusual characteristics. So imagine that one specific 2017 cent emerging from this massive production run carrying a combination of errors so dramatic that it commands a multi-million-dollar price tag, errors such as dramatic doubled dies where the details of Lincoln's profile, the date, or the lettering appear doubled under magnification, creating an eye-catching visual distortion that makes the coin instantly stand out, or off-center strikes where the entire design is shifted, leaving parts of the motto or the rim incomplete and instantly identifying the piece as a minting mistake not meant to reach circulation, or the always thrilling broad strikes where the coin is struck outside of the collar causing it to spread wider and flatter than normal, producing a rare mint-made shape that collectors pay huge premiums for. And then, there's the possibility of planchet errors where the metal blank used to strike the coin might be cracked, clipped, improperly mixed, or even of the wrong composition, each of which can skyrocket value because they provide clear evidence of a minting mishap that went undetected. And when you combine two or more of these errors together, such as a double die paired with a misaligned die strike or a clipped planchet paired with an off-center design, the coin becomes exponentially rarer, sometimes to the point of being one of a kind. And those are exactly the types of dramatic anomalies that experts believe may have shaped the legendary $13 million 2017 cent. A coin believed to show multiple overlapping mint errors so extreme that they render it completely unlike any other cent produced that year, and since 2017 was a record-breaking year for cent production. With billions of pennies released to the public, the fact that an extremely rare error escaped unnoticed makes the story even more incredible, because in high-speed, high-pressure conditions like those at the Philadelphia Mint that year, even tiny misalignments or mechanical malfunctions could cause unusual details such as die cracks stretching across Lincoln's head, cuts where pieces of the die broke off leaving raised blobs on the coin, or rotated dies where the obverse and reverse designs don't align at the standard orientation, and any of these errors alone could make a coin valuable, but experts suspect that the multi-million-dollar 2017 cent showcases a series of layered mistakes, the kind that create a coin so visually striking and so historically important that it becomes a once-in-a-generation discovery, multiplying interest from collectors, auction houses, and museums, and pushing competitive bidding to levels no one could have anticipated for a modern coin. And what makes it even more captivating is that the 2017 cent marks the only year that the Philadelphia Mint added the P mint mark to the Lincoln cent to celebrate its 225th anniversary, making any unique error from this year an instant standout in the history of U.S. coinage. And since the Mint intended this to be a symbolic gesture, the striking of a major error during this commemorative year adds even more significance to the lucky few pieces that show dramatic minting flaws, leading collectors to speculate that the multi-million-dollar 2017 cent could feature something as bold as a mule error where the obverse of one coin type is accidentally paired with the reverse of another, or a transitional planchet error struck on leftover metal intended for a different coin denomination, both of which are among the rarest mint errors possible and have historically brought enormous prices at auction. So when rumors emerged about a 2017 penny showing characteristics that didn't match the known design standards, the coin community went into a frenzy, discussing possibilities ranging from experimental planchets to misannealed metal showing unusual color shifts to die polishing marks so intense that portions of the design appear ghost-like or partially vanished, and these kinds of extreme errors can generate the kind of passion and bidding intensity that results in record-breaking sale prices, especially when the coin's rarity is beyond dispute. And as collectors and researchers examine the coin closely, what made it truly special wasn't just a single mistake, but the combination of multiple dramatic minting anomalies layered together in a way that had never been seen on a 2017 cent, triggering a level of excitement that could push its value into the multi-million-dollar range and inspire collectors worldwide to recheck every 2017 cent they own, hoping to uncover the next great discovery. And part of what makes this story so compelling is knowing that rare errors often go unnoticed by the mint and enter circulation like ordinary pocket change before a keen-eyed collector discovers them, which means anyone holding a jar of pennies at home could unknowingly possess a hidden treasure. And with the 2017 year being so unique in minting history, the chances of unusual coins surfacing over time are high, adding even more intrigue to the search. And the thought that a tiny copper-plated zinc coin could be worth as much as a luxury home, exotic sports car, or even a retirement fortune shows how powerful the combination of rarity, error complexity, and collector enthusiasm can be. So as we break down every possibility, from dramatic die shifts to rare metal compositions, from multiple overlapping errors to once-in-a-lifetime minting conditions. It becomes clear why the legendary 2017 piece set reached an unbelievable value of $13 million and continues to inspire coin collectors everywhere to inspect their change with new excitement, because the world of numismatics is full of surprises where even the most common-looking coin might hold a story of history, rarity, and unimaginable worth just waiting to be discovered.